Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. It says lamotrigine insomnia. Okay. It says I take 100 milligrams in the AM and 100 milligrams in the PM. How the fuck is it that I'm so fucking sleepy and dumb all day, but as soon as I try to sleep, I'm completely wide awake and I just cannot fall asleep. I'm so frustrated. I just want to be asleep. I have work in the morning. Fuck my life. I've been taking this for over a year, but the past 3 weeks or so, I just cannot sleep at all. I feel like crying. What should I do? What should you do? Well, I take lamotrigine, and I've recently found out that I have insomnia, so I just kind of ride along with it. They try to give me some pills to go to sleep. I'm not going to take any more pills to sleep, more side effects. I'll just stay awake. I don't have to work in the morning.
Is Angel in here? He's tried a lot of anti-epileptics, and like everybody said, like the sleep is gonna it's such a trigger for seizures. So like I know Lamictal works for a lot of people, but maybe the timing and maybe adding something else. Personally for me, I know Pepper doesn't work for a lot of people, but I take it at night. It knocks me out. I don't know if it's helping, but it at least knocks me out.
What was that?
But at least you're not awake for it.
I'm afraid to check the nanny cam.
Anyhow, it says they just throw meds at me instead of the problem. I genuinely believe that I don't naturally have epilepsy. What I know is that my body is addicted to seizure medication. I swear my neurologist doesn't want to think about why I get orals now. I'm tired of him just saying my brain is complex. Okay, dude, yeah, I know, but why am I getting orals now? Why are my seizures different after 30 years of the same triggers? Now I don't know what the triggers are. Help me instead of helping me with the triggers. He just throws a new doctor or a new pill at me. I'm tired of the pills or the lack of explanation. He's the doctor. He took the oath to help, not just throw a pill at me. Advice from the people. That's kind of what I just said.
Maybe don't get overwhelmed.
That kind of goes with what I just said, though.
Yeah.
They told me the pills from insomnia. They just gave me some more pills just because, oh, you have problems with sleeping. Well, take this and still take the pills that are giving you insomnia. So yeah, that's kind of what that sounds like. Opinions help this person.
Oh, you're still having more seizures? How about 5 medications? And 2 rescue meds? I feel you, man. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're muted, Sailor Mom. You guys know better about being on multiple medications, but personally for me, after I went on anti-epileptics, I realized that it cleared the way to not have crazy seizures. And then I thought I was having more auras because I was able to recognize that I was having small seizures, whereas before I couldn't. I am so confused why people don't think they have epilepsy, but I wonder if it's not the meds just scrambling their brain.
Or wanting to trust a medical professional that's trying to avoid the real diagnosis. And that's kind of where I got backed into a corner for a little bit.
Everything, they're just afraid. Really?
What was that, Mark?
Or out of their league?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
think I have
sometimes-
yet to see an epileptologist.
Or
Yeah.
does the person not want to accept it?
Yeah.
Is that
That's
what we're
kinda what I
saying here? Well, sheets. I think we've all gone through that, haven't we? I mean, long or short, no matter how long it lasted for each of us, right? And whether you've accepted it now or not, like, is that not a giant hurdle? It was for me.
That's for me, too.
Was.
You'd be surprised by people. They're like you said, the brain is very surprising. When you're in denial
Complicated.
about something, you blame everyone else.
Yeah. You know? I know. I
Hey.
mean, yeah, I'm going to shut up now.
Never shut up. We don't want you to shut up.
Don't bring it on.
Well, I was just going to say that, you know, I went back to work against my epileptologist's advice and wishes and in my medical file over and over again because I was like, I can do this. I'm strong. I love my job and I can do this. Like I haul hundreds and hundreds of pounds of ice cream every day and I, you know, run like a Energizer bunny back and forth and I decorate 30 cakes a day or whatever. So I was like, I'm not going to accept that I can't do that until it got to the point where, yeah, I mean, he kept telling me not to do it and I kept going back, but then I had to realize I couldn't do it. So maybe they just haven't got there yet. I don't know. I hope they're.
You're muted, Sailor Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, can I just jump in if Jason is here and has any input? Because I know like he said he stopped drinking too, which I feel like is kind of similar in terms of having to accept a diagnosis.
Go ahead.
I know
Maybe
you're not
he's
talking
not
about
here.
Jason.
I
No, he's
don't think
passed
Oh, no.
out.
This is not here.
right now.
Okay, well, sleep well, Jason.
He is. So I got something here. It says, ever just say fuck it? I guess it's a rant. I don't know. Ever just say fuck it at all and do everything you aren't supposed to do? Keto, meds, alcohol, stress, lack of sleep, whatever. Sometimes I just want to enjoy a night knowing the consequences the next day. Anyone else? Or am I just being stupid? I like your
We can all answer this. We can all answer this.
You first.
Yeah, fuck it. Seriously, get that out. And whenever you need to, fuck it. It sucks. Like, fuck it. I'm chain smoking right now.
Anyone else?
I
How
know
can
you
we
guys
top
want to say
that?
fuck it. I want to
Okay.
hear your fuck it.
I don't
Yeah, I was
drink.
gonna say, are we just saying yes or no, or are we giving each of us like our own personal fuckets? Any thoughts?
Are we describing our fuckets? Is that what we're doing?
Right, yeah.
In
Any
great
fuckets are
detail,
welcome.
please.
Any flavor. I mean, you were hauling ice cream. You know there's a lot of flavors.
Yeah, because it does say a lot of things, and then it says whatever. Keto, meds, alcohol, stress, lack of sleep, or whatever. You ever done one of those and just say fuck it or whatever it says? So
Yeah, you guys ever rebel?
yeah. I rebel all the time. I'm 35. Anyhow,
I rebel every time I go pick up my own pills when they tell me don't. I say fuck
Mm,
it.
yeah, I was just told go get the pills, so it's a different boat.
Yeah, I guess later in life you can still tell yourself that, achieve that same satisfaction, but without like actually putting yourself in danger.
I think this
That
Like
is different too.
smaller
you
Like,
scales.
gotta be a little ornery.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
yeah,
of
you can
something that.
trust that coming from Jeff. It's true.
Oh yeah, the
You gotta
wise
have
man, the
fun.
wisest man I know.
Life is about fun. Otherwise, it sucks. So have fun.
I
Yeah,
also
I'm
think
trying
it
to think
depends
of.
on what kind of seizures you have, because I had a bunch of focals earlier. I probably got goofy with you guys. So that you can fuck it and I mean don't go into status, but like see the consequences every once in a while if you need to. But if you're having like I think Kate has tonic clonics, maybe don't fuck it.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
By the time I'm conscious enough to be able to make that judgment, I'm already either inpatient or with the nasal am by somebody else. So when it comes to that, it's not up to me. It's the more conscious decisions that I make on a daily basis that I have to keep in mind. Yeah, I kind of want to say fuck it right now, but the dog
It was
isn't
the
trained good
robot's
enough,
money.
so I shouldn't walk even further because it's after 7. It's already 85. I didn't get up early enough today, so I'm only going around the block once, even though I really want to walk further with the dog. It's just not a good idea.
I thought it was asked about older people. Being an older person, I thought that's what it relates. Sorry.
No, it's good to
Yeah,
have
but you
like a
you got to
range
know how
of
we feel
ages.
older already. And they're telling
I
us the
mean, we
life expectancy. Yeah.
just
None of us
waited
are
around
old
and it
in
happened.
here.
Somebody said something. Angel,
I
did you
said,
stop talking?
I said none of us are old in here.
Everybody's 14. We look our age.
Did I
We need
mention
Lufa
Everybody's
in here who's
18.
like, to balance this out because I think we got like 135-year-olds. We have one Kate who's 10 years old, and we have Jeff. I like having a range of ages in here because it so depends on demographics too, and if
I'm
you're a parent or not.
24.
Yeah, see, some
Yay!
people are
Yes. What do you think? Do you fuck it?
I mean, I got 2 kids. I can't really say F it all the time, but but sometimes I mean like with the small things, like I'm supposed to be on keto, but sometimes something looks really yummy and I just want to eat it anyways. So I go for it because I can't eat really good all the time. And I'm a mom, so time is not on my side.
Yeah, that's my fuck it. Like I can't go all the way. I mean, I'm not drinking or anything, but like smoke a couple extra J's, or I eat something that I shouldn't, or I have a soda or a cup of coffee when maybe my family doesn't think I ought to. But you know what I mean? Small things, small fuck it's.
It's different when you have, people relying on you.
Yeah, exactly. You can't go overboard, right?
That's what
Like,
bothers me a little. Is my kind of fuck it is the time thing. Is am I gonna have time to establish a life? I don't want to. I mean, I'm almost. I mentioned my age before. I'm not gonna mention it again. Am I
tell
gonna
us
have
your
time to
age.
get out of here and establish a separate life aside from this life? A new life. That's what I want. And
Gotta do it. You have to do it.
all right,
Look
see ya.
at this.
Yeah.
Anywhere? Friday. Not doing anything.
That's going to be a
Rode
short.
dolphins. I rode dolphins.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Poor dolphins. Did you just say you rode dolphins?
Yep. He posted a picture. He was like holding their
Playing
fins
with
and they were
them.
like going, and Angel was smiling really big.
Yeah,
What?
Be careful
it's
with those.
awesome.
You know what they do to people. Have you heard?
Yeah, but they're smart too.
Yeah, that's the problem. And they're
They were
like, filthy.
they're like chasing people out of the water at the beach, like the second or third, like 2 or 3
Floridians can
times
tell you some
ago they
stuff
were
about
there.
dolphins.
Yeah, I bet.
Water was so clear. I like that picture, Angel.
It was Isla de las Mujeres in Cancun. Yeah. So you could see we were riding on the boat and you could still see clear water riding on the boat.
Yeah, so I got one here. It says, "Is nicotine a common trigger for you guys?" Basically, just the title. Whenever I hit a vape or smoke a cigarette enough to get a buzz, I end up getting an aura and shortly after a seizure. Just curious on anyone else's experience with this. I also think it's a great excuse to quit nicotine, as it's such a pointless drug to me. I'm glad the person took some accountability and they were willing to quit. Yeah. Thoughts, opinions, advice, you guys?
Well, they were willing to connect the two, right? That if they have the nicotine, they're going to have a seizure. That's very adult, you know.
Yeah, that's adult of that person. So yeah, I had to stop. And they
Sounds
said
like
it's
they
a
got their
pointless
facts
drug.
straight, and now they have to act on it. Oh, now we see the pictures.
There you go, Kate.
That's crazy. That shit looks edited. That doesn't even look real. That's insane.
This is like Mission Impossible or some fucking movie.
Yeah,
Triple X.
crazy.
I got something here. It says, "What are some things that personally keep seizures away that don't involve meds?" Mine's is a fun attitude, laughing whenever I can, just keeping the dopamine naturally as high as I can, even acting a bit childish, which is all hard with depression and BPD. But for me, it's much of a fun, happy mood, and having the best outlook on hard times seem to make me have a lot less non-catamenial focal seizures and keeping all my senses busy, like VR chat. Yeah, I try to like stay in a place where I'm not angry. Well, I don't get angry often. I think that's the pills, just nonchalant about everything. I've heard. Um, let's see. Yeah, you guys come back to me.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to play either video games with my husband and kids at night or play board games because or watch a funny movie because then, you're always got the dopamine high before you go to sleep or you try to go to sleep because insomnia. But yeah, I can understand that. That makes sense to me. I can see how that would work. Keep you in the moment. Anybody
But
else?
this ties back into the fuck it thing because even if I know getting all this shit done and the multitasking and the packing and getting everything ready is gonna probably stress me out, put me at a little bit of a higher risk. Shit's gotta get done. And if I ask my mother to do one more fucking thing, then, I should just like I'm not gonna finish that sentence. But yeah, this ties back into the fuck it. I do whatever I have to do, and if it causes seizures, it does. But you know, Now we get times
I
like this, and this totally brings it all back full circle.
I'd have to agree with Kate on that because, like, especially as a mother, you kind of gotta say screw it, especially if you don't have that much support on some days. And you just gotta get through it. All the things that you have to do. There's a lot that you have to do. And if I have a seizure, I have a seizure. But if I don't, then at least I got the stuff done.
Especially when it's just phone calls. It's just, simple things, but doing 10 things at once gets a little, yeah.
At a certain point, you
But
stop being able to speak properly.
yeah, fuck it. I'm not in physical danger, but okay, the stylist might think I'm stupid. I
Mhm.
can't tell you like anywhere near how many foils she's gonna need, but book the fucking appointment. Like, let's just get this done so I can move on down the list.
Get it over with.
I have one that says motorbiking. What are y'all takes on motorbiking with epilepsy? When I'm a year episode free, I want to take lessons. I really want to do it, but I don't know. I don't trust myself. I wouldn't. Do it.
I don't either. It goes along with driving. No.
Yeah, mine are so sporadic that I don't trust myself.
I would have to say that I still hold out hope for number one, horseback riding, and number two, dirt biking, because I love those. But as far as driving on the road, no, I would never do that.
Okay, yeah, dirt biking does sound fun.
Yeah, like if it was out in the middle of a desert, nobody else around me, just me and the dirt bike, and if I have a seizure, then I'm the only person in danger. I think that would be one of the best ways to experience motorsport as an epileptic. Like can't go out to a track. I love driving. I miss it, you know. But yeah, like dirt biking sounds awesome.
Yeah, like you said, somewhere where only I would get hurt. That would be
So
great.
would he be dirt biking on a closed course?
He actually said motorbiking. He didn't say dirt biking, but I'm not sure if there's a
Sorry.
difference. So,
Well, I mean, I don't know if it matters, but I mean,
It's a little
motorbiking,
safer.
it's a little, it's not much better, but
Yeah,
not good for him still, or this person.
yeah.
That would
he
be a
said that
good bucket, I guess, for me.
Hey,
That's what I
Like,
was gonna say. That's my
his
that's my new fuck
Crazy.
it.
his body, right? He can.
right. That's a big one right there, like you said. And he's a year without an episode, so I mean,
Oh,
still, I'd take other precautions, but yeah, I'd do that, I guess. Not on the streets.
But that thing
23
Sia
and
said about the horses, I know I've seen kids with disabilities at the farm, and if they're on the right horse with a helmet, and somebody's around at least supervising or monitoring, that's I've seen trail rides. They can definitely do horse. Epileptics can definitely ride horses. We're not talking jumps every day, but
If you
you
find
know
the right person or you have a horse, then for sure. But so far, I've
exactly.
been turned down.
I
Oh yeah,
wonder
some
if
English
horses
places.
would
Come
be able
on.
to pick up on it like dogs can, if they could be trained to like tell when somebody's having a problem and stop and signal to someone around them or to the rider themselves, you know.
I'd love to get a horse and train my own horse because I agree with you. Horses are extremely smart. They're even smarter than dogs in some cases. So yeah, I would say that that would definitely be a possibility to train them how to, respond to you if you're about to have something go wrong.
This one says, how to rest without guilt. I hate taking off work because I love my job and my coworkers, but sometimes I'm absolutely useless and need to rest, but I always feel so bad. My coworkers appear to be very understanding. TBF. I'm the undergrad student and in research lab while everyone else is in postdoc. And they also not American and are always telling me to make sure I rest. But I feel like I'm being annoying by needing to rest so much. I'm also the type of person who works multiple jobs on top of 18 college credits per semester. But since having seizures, I've been unable to do that as well. I think the post seizure, my brain is like slime mold, and that makes sense. It's not like thinking I'm sleepy, but I get antsy and need to at least puts around, but then I'm exhausted still. So how do you get over this? Will I ever get over this feeling?
I mean, the mush thing, that sounds post-ictal. So getting over the feeling is, just
You're
gotta
not gonna,
Just
let it
time.
finish.
yeah. And you're not gonna not have that until you don't have seizures. But the guilt thing, I don't know how to tell you how to rest without guilt because I have the same problem every single day. I don't know if you guys do, but
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that part out.
right, even if they tell you to, sometimes it comes back to bite you because then they're unhappy and you feel guilty. I don't know. I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, it's like the people who say, it's okay, don't worry, I'm not bothered. But then it's hard to not because there's always something I feel like you are bothered by, but you're not saying it. So there's that.
A post I'd like to ask everybody about if
Oh
we're
man,
ready.
I've been waiting for that.
Okay. This one is from a year ago, but I'm gonna read it. Do all of your friends know you are epileptic?
I have no
Yes.
friends.
Do all
Sounds a
of you
little bit
guys
funny.
know I'm epileptic?
Huh?
Yes, Angel, we're here for you.
Yeah. Yeah, all my friends know.
I guess. I mean, sort of. If I've talked to them in the last 4 years, maybe.
Right?
Yeah, well, all my friends,
Only reason I can say yes is because my friends from high school, I had it in high school, so they were the ones protecting me and thinking we should not tell my mom because I had a seizure in public. So yeah, well, that's the crowd I was around.
Well, the unknown can be scary. And you might think you can get in trouble for it.
Okay, I also have another question. Has anybody ever known anybody who said they had epilepsy and did not, or you suspected it, or were faking a seizure?
And no, I'm playing. No, no, not personally.
Okay, well, I had an experience where somebody told me somebody else had seizures. Hey, and then I had a very, very bad seizure. And I ruined somebody's party, and this person was there, and we ended up at the hospital. And everybody came to like comfort me, and like I barely remember any of this, but what I do remember is the person who supposedly had seizures, and maybe they do, hanging back and looking very nervous. And they haven't talked to me since, and it just is in my mind like, did I inadvertently call this person out by ruining the party? What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Bound to
I've
be
gone to
found out one
parties.
way or another.
I thought I was the only one ruining parties these days. Yeah, that sucks, but comes with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. It sounds like they were pretty uncomfortable seeing it in person. I don't know. Or maybe they're just uncomfortable because they've never seen themselves. You know? That's possible. I've seen myself, so I'm not uncomfortable with that. But yeah, maybe. Oh,
I've seen myself on video, so
yeah.
it was interesting though. So that was the difference between me. But you got anything else?
Yeah, this isn't from epilepsy, but I am interested for people who had clinical correlate, meaning it showed up on a labs. Do you know where your seizures are happening?
Um,
I
mine's
Like
I'm
inside
right
my
there.
head?
you could,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like what lobe or general
Oh.
area?
So I have a thing it's a rod shaped indentation behind my ear that goes straight in, and my skull was banged in there, and it made my brain go in, and it never grew there. And it took about 5 MRI specialists reviewing my MRIs to find it. They knew where it was coming from. Every EEG would show where it was coming from, but they couldn't see why, except for this one very special specialist that finally found it. And as soon as they found it, they were like, okay, we know exactly what this is. This is not like, you were born with this. Somebody did this to you before you were 6 weeks old. And you probably had seizures your whole life, off and on, and for whatever reason now it's switched 100% on, and it's yeah.
So is
Anybody
that
else?
occipital lobe? In the back? It looks like on the back of your head it's occipital or
Yeah.
parietal.
It's like right
One of those sounds
there.
familiar.
Yeah, right. I think it's in the back. Yeah, it's in the back one, whatever that one is, the occipital, I guess.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah, it looks like that's the
generally,
one that's like closer to the stem.
yeah, and it starts right there. It's like it's actually rod shaped. It's really weird. Once they showed it to me, I was like, oh, for fridge's sake, I'm pretty sure I know where that came from. But anyway, and I can actually sometimes feel it coming out across there and going over to here like a, I
Oh,
don't know,
wow.
like an electrical or like a thunderbolt kind of when
So
you see
maybe
it.
that's long enough to like cross up into the parietal, and since that's connected, yeah.
Oh, it
that-
goes
that's-
all over. And once it comes across to here, then it's everywhere. It goes everywhere, and I'm probably gonna have a TC.
Yeah.
When I get that shocking thing, it's over. That's when I know it's too late. It's like, oh, it's over. And it's like it starts from this side, it just feels like it just shocks and everything goes that way. And then I don't remember anything else.
So maybe that tells
My-
you where it's starting. If you always like turn that way, then it's probably starting on the opposite side.
No,
That's
I
what I
got
was looking into.
encephalomalacia on the right side of my head, which is basically soft brain tissue from getting hit by a car. So it starts where the problem is at, and it just takes off very fast.
When I was diagnosed, the neurologist told me it would start on my left side and then just go bilateral. Yeah, I'm focal to bilateral. Yeah, front, I think. Because I get the absences and stuff.
Did
Anyone
anyone
else?
have an EEG that like, maybe I'm asking this over and over, that showed something in a lobe?
mine showed up and right, well, she said right frontotemporal, um, and then it spread secondary generalized. Um, so my focal was like a tingling, rushing, dropping, weird. I mean, the English language doesn't have the right words for the sensations, but on my left side, and then I went unconscious. Or that was the one that I have seen a video of, which uh terrifyingly enough, it happened. My mom was standing in the doorway, and we were having a conversation, and then I started to get, the focal, and I wasn't able to talk very clearly, but I was able to lift my arm on the left side, and um so she ran to get her phone to come and sit next to me, and by the time she got back, I was just staring out into space, so it had already spread, I guess. But my symptoms don't always occur on the one side. I sometimes get the sensations on the right side. So she said that it might just be something deeper in, and that they go to either side, and just the ones that they happened to catch on that EEG while I was hooked up were picked up first on the right frontotemporal side. But she did get that specific lobe first.
Is it's so crazy because it seems like a lot of people have left-sided issues. Mark, I think you just said you had right-sided issues. Is that right?
Yes, right-sided, but left-sided physical sensations. So, I don't know what you had meant when you said most people have left-sided issues. So,
Yeah, I've noticed, I think that's what people are saying. They have um labs that show issues on their left side, so they have right-sided symptoms. So it's interesting you have the opposite, because I haven't, like, just reading through the Reddit thing, seen as many of that. It's odd. Yeah, I just actually got a book about blood flow and how it affects the brain. So maybe I'll share that. It's written very simply, so it's easy to read.
Oh, is there anything that you like about having epilepsy? As the question says, anything you like. For me personally, it's I immediately get an appointment with a neurologist and don't have to wait months to a year for an appointment. Same with therapists and any other doctor. I'm in Germany, so it might be different wherever you're at.
You know, I kind of I like not driving. Yeah, people say they miss driving, but you know, the public transit's pretty good in Philadelphia for the next year, and it's going to shut down for the most part. But yeah, it's a good city to get around in, and uh, I don't gotta pay for car insurance. Don't gotta do all that mess. Don't gotta be one of those crazy people. So
mm,
yeah.
yeah, I don't miss the traffic. Can I like amend my previous statement about missing the driving and wanting to dirt bike? Like I miss operating the motor vehicle, like manual transmission, clutch, but everyone around me it was a problem even before I had seizures. So now that just I wouldn't yeah, in the middle of an open track or something, that's kind of what I miss. So I'm realizing now that, yeah, it's, I agree with Kevin. It's kind of nice to not have to, you know, I'm not the person who has to get angry at the guy cutting whatever vehicle I'm in off. You know, I
Yeah.
get to laugh at it while they get angry.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
I like being
I'm
able to sit in the passenger seat. I go right to the passenger seat. I like that part. Yeah.
Mhm.
um I'm interested in what like got led up to your immediate diagnosis. Like what's the thing that really told your doctors you needed it?
My second seizure in high school, and then they had already knew I had encephalomalacia on the right side of my head since I was a kid, but it didn't cause seizures, like I said, until I was in my mid to late teens. So yeah. Hey Rick, hey Toaster. Welcome back.
Hi,
Oh, I
Toaster.
love the last
Hi
story.
guys. We're all like fading a little bit. I think we need some energy pickup in here.
Well,
Oh,
just so
Toaster
you
will
know,
give
okay,
us
okay.
energy.
Take this. Get this. Apologies in advance, Pookie, for the editing. Bro, it goes in the closet in his, spot of don't bother me, I'm doing my business. So they call me over there and I'm going through the routine, lay him down, do the thing. It was gas. And he was laughing like a maniac for this whole time. Clean diaper, didn't need me at all, went through the whole routine, said the same lines of come back later, don't bother me now, and it was gas the whole time. And he was planning it and holding it and let it rip and laugh like, oh my God, he's a boy. Oh my God. He is a
Mira,
boy.
pero
Yeah, there's a subreddit called when guys turn to dudes. There he goes, doing some dude stuff. Start him early. Anyhow. Kate, anything that you like about having epilepsy?
Uh, I mean, it's just part of who I am now. So if I say everything about it is horrible, then I'm just kind of talking shit on myself. But on that point, I definitely want to rave on Toaster stories. Those brain chronicles, brainstorm. Yeah,
Yeah.
those stories are amazing. A lot of fun.
Hey, I like
Rick?
nothing happens to Tom.
I've been having way too much fun with those.
They're fun to read. You might
I
have a
have
book one day.
in my head. I have um. I know it has nothing to do with the little arc that I'm doing, but I have um. I have a person who is epileptic, and she goes to a pet adoption event, and cat, of course, cat, because we don't have a cat yet. We need a cat. Um, basically, is like, I'm going to be yours now. You're about to have a seizure, and of course, they take him home. So random
Rick,
things. So
Toaster and Rick, is there anything you guys like about having epilepsy?
Well, it gets me out of doing a lot of stuff at work. um, so I guess let me rephrase it. So I'm very busy at work and I don't shirk any responsibilities, but it is nice to split the shift So that way I could work like 4 hours. Hey, I need a nap. Take a nap for 2 hours, work for four, and then later on in the evening, after I take my meds and, oh, look, now you're awake, then I could do some work. So I kind of like that flexibility. Um, Also, my job, they really don't want me working remote, and they'll allow 1 day a week for people, but they really don't like it when you do it. I got carte blanche. I can just wake up in the morning, I'm not feeling it, tell my manager, I think I need to work remote. Yeah, you work remote. We'd rather you fall there than at work. So that's what I like about epilepsy. And especially since I can't drive right now, the more I work remote, then the less my wife has to get stressed and drive because she's having eye surgery soon. So hopefully after she recovers from that, she'll be able to see better, but she doesn't really like driving. So that's really cool that I'm able to do that more. So that's a benefit. There's that.
I like that there's a spot on the train that says only people disabled. The train is full sometimes, and then there's that one spot. Disabled, old people, or pregnant people. Yeah. Yeah, a good part about having epilepsy is the Zoom. So I got something here.
Oh,
Says
Pookie, can I interrupt you very
Go
quickly?
ahead.
You can take this out, but I'm trying to get a hold of you for if you have any novels again, so you don't have to like suffer through them. Just send them to me and I'll throw them into ChatGPT.
Got plenty. Anyhow, I got one here. It says, if I failed the following drugs, does it even make sense to try another sodium channel blocker? Keppra is able to stop my tonic-clonics, but I'm still getting weekly complex partial seizures. I failed Lamictal, Trileptal, and Vimpat, and Depakote. Does it make sense to try something like Topamax or Zonisamide at this point? My neuro said I probably wouldn't handle Topamax well as far as the side effects go, and said would rather avoid it, and said Zonisamide is an option, but unsure if it's safe as I've had a bad reaction to a sulfa antibiotic in the past, although I'm uncertain if the reaction I had was related to sulfa or the actual procedure I was undergoing at the time when the sulfa containing antibiotic was given to me. The neuro said we should probably go with clobazam next. How are the side effects on clobazam compared to the ones I already tried? Have any of you tried zonisamide, clobazam, Fycompa, and can report on how these three are in comparison with each other in terms of side effects? And these are the only three options I have left, basically, to choose from. I haven't taken any of those. This person just asked it out. Zonisamide, clobazam, Fycompa. I haven't taken anything besides the Lamictal, and he said that failed. He or she or someone. They.
I've taken all of them and they didn't work, so that's the that I'm not the right one to go from though. It depends on which ones haven't worked in the past. Do they have a history of like more of the AEDs failing for worse reasons, or the benzos going the wrong way, or you kind of need more medical history to make like a good decision on that one. I don't remember any. I know Fycompa was the quickest one, so I don't know if maybe I actually felt something on that one, but I think the other two just didn't work.
It said how are the side effects with clobazam compared to the other ones. You don't remember? Okay.
Oh, we got some hands going. We have Angel and we had Rick and maybe Kevin.
Go ahead, jump in, Angel. Unmuted. Unmute, buddy.
I was gonna say I haven't tried zonisamide, but I've been looking it up for Anne and stuff. And I definitely recommend, if you have any type of kidney problems, do not take it because it can cause kidney stones.
So they said something about being on an antibiotic too, and that alone, the sulfamethoxazole, I don't know how to say it, but that one can definitely lower your seizure threshold.
So there's a couple things with that. So first, I was answering the first part of the question. Um, so um, the sulfa blah, 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 type of antibiotics, which I believe some of the medications that the sodium blockers use. My son's allergic to that, so he has to be extremely careful what type of antibiotics he's given. So obviously, this person was talking to the doctor. The doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. No, seriously. Said, you're not going to do well. I would trust a doctor because based on those ingredients, if it's that similar to the antibiotics, I would give it a hard no. Doesn't mean that there's not other options or there's the type of sodium blockers that have different ingredients in it. That's going to have to be a, neurologist, neurosurgeon, other type of doctor and research type of thing. So I would definitely tell the person be very, very careful. It's not a hard no, but be very careful and make sure the research is done by all parties involved, because once you have a reaction, all further reactions are going to be so much more severe. Kind of like if you have a bee sting allergy, the first sting is bad, the next one most likely going to be deadly. So it's the same thing. So definitely that's my major red flag or two that went up when the first few sentences there. So that's what I would say. It's yes, there's other meds you can try. Yes, you can try some of those meds you were talking about, but definitely, I know I'm repeating myself. So stop, just stop. I said what I said.
And the summary helped it. Thank you.
We're
Sure
all
thing.
on that page today. We're just like, oh, wait, how much did I just say?
Okay. I got another novel here that I'm interested in reading it.
Let
It
me go
says
get
ER.
popcorn.
Huh?
I said, let me go get popcorn.
Right. Bring me some. Anyhow, it says ER doctor told me I'm not epileptic. I was diagnosed with epilepsy last year after years of uncontrolled seizures. I had a lapse in insurance and was waiting for my new insurance card and was unable to get my medication for a month. I've had a lot going on recently, very high stress at the moment. Last night, whole getting ready for work, I was getting out of the shower and started seizing, which resulted in me hitting my head on the bathtub and potentially the toilet before I hit the floor. My husband found me in the bathroom convulsing, and I had vomited on myself. So he got me dressed when I stopped seizing and took me to the hospital because we weren't sure how bad I had hit my head. We get to the hospital and go back in the room. This is the fastest I've ever been taken back into a room. The ER doctor tells me I don't have epilepsy because my EEGs came back last year. They came back last year, came back clean. He asked me how I can have epilepsy with clean EEGs. This made me start sobbing. I was already in a fragile state. My head was killing me, and now I was being interrogated about my own epilepsy. I told him I had an appointment with my neuro the next day. Thank God. And then he shut up. He did the blood work, CT, and then had the nerve to test my blood alcohol and ask my husband while I was in a CT if he thought that I was seizing due to me drinking alcohol. When I saw the BAC test, I was livid. This man made me feel so dumb, upping discharge. He told me I have closed brain injury, which is a mild TBI without penetrative to the skull, which whatever, but I'm just so upset with how I was treated in the ER. Ladies and gentlemen, any advice for this person? This was yesterday, so it's fairly new.
Yes. I don't know if they had someone with them, but if you can find a white man and you're not one, just bring more of them wherever you go. Have a lot of people with you. I know that's hard because you had to go to the ER. But witnesses are really good to help for that. Like when I ruined the party, I had the person whose party it was, like, and their friends in the room, and they told me later that they knew if they left that they would just fuck with you. So I highly recommend that. Anybody else?
Yeah, friends are the best. You need a support system. Next.
Yeah, so my wife got really upset at one of the ERs I went to because they were being dismissive. And yes, she got a little bit New Jersey loud, but she got kicked out because of that. Whereas, she kept insisting. The problem is I was giving wrong answers because I'm very confident, so I confidently gave wrong answers. So that was another pointless ER visit that nothing happened. So you definitely have to have witnesses. You definitely have to have people with you, just for, your own safety with doctors. And then also with, you know, who knows what they're even asking you or if they even care what the answer is or writing down the right answers. So all around, everybody needs to have witnesses with them.
Just all the evidence possible, especially when you're going to the ER. I mean, for me, I think they only send me to the ER now if it was too long and I'm just taking too long to recover. I mean, we minimize ER visits unless there is actually an injury that needs tended to, stitches or, whatever. But the last one, that the lump was just too big and they wanted to call the EMTs over. It was the same thing. They ended up just leaving me with the impression of like, why'd you bother? But I
I
didn't
was
want to go
just
for
going,
the hospital. So
yeah, none of us want to go to the ER, but I was just going to say ERs can't diagnose you or mm, uh undiagnose you as an epileptic. You have your paperwork and um your charts done by your neurologist and everything. You know what you have. Don't let them tell you no, you're already in a confused state. I understand that, and but they can't really undo that because you already have your doctor for that.
Wow.
No one
Uh,
else?
That was really great. That was
yeah.
really great, Angel. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's so hard when you're in a state to keep in mind that every doctor you see does not control you, and that's like so difficult to remember.
well said.
Yeah, I got something. Says someone just tried to induce a seizure with a flashlight because they disagreed with a personal opinion of mine. How messed up is that? I disagreed with you, so I'm gonna put a flashlight in your face purposely. That was in quotes. They did not like when I laughed at them and told them that flashing lights generally affect less than 5% of epileptics, and certainly didn't like when people told them how straight up effed up that was for trying that. What do you want to tell this person? That person obviously isn't your friend. I mean, there's no context on it saying anything about the person, but
So this wasn't some kind of ER or doctor visit or something. This was just somebody saying, "I have epilepsy," and then another person in the vicinity coming over with a flashlight.
This is
Yeah.
a different one.
Yeah, so just remove yourself from that situation entirely. That person's not taking you seriously. If anything, they're trying to cause harm to laugh at you or something, and no.
Temporal lobe epilepsy and learning disabilities. Does anyone have TLE, left side, and a learning disability? I was diagnosed with TLE last year, and of course, the depression and loss of life you knew comes in waves. But recently, I've been feeling very sad for the kid I was growing up. Literally couldn't do schoolwork because her brain couldn't be comprehended. Sometimes when I ask when I'm at work and I can't do something, I feel like that kid again. So it made me start thinking, do I have a learning disability because of the malformation in my brain that causes my epilepsy? Like, could it have been fucking me up my entire life and I never knew? I feel like I'm giving up the 13-year-old version of me did a long time. Trauma is a bitch. Um, Anyone with temporal lobe epilepsy that feels like they had a learning disability or want to give this person something?
Go ahead, Rick.
So I have TLE on my right side, not the left side like the poster. I wouldn't say I have a learning disability. I also got mine in a weird way later in life. Um, but I was able to still go to school because I was going for a master's degree when it all happened, trying to keep it short. So I do feel that my comprehension level has changed though. So I don't know if that's considered a learning disability or not. That's something where the person asking the question, I think, should get tested, should bring it up to doctors, definitely make doctors aware so they know what to look for, because if one thing I've learned over the years is no matter what the issue is, if you don't bring it up to the doctor may not test or know what to test for, just because there's a bajillion things that could be going on and not every doctor is going to know all of them. So bring up concerns and then go from there. And the doctor may even say, go see a different doctor to work with that. So that's my spiel.
Yeah, so this is another be your own advocate thing, because it sounds like TLE can be a factor in influencing learning, like Rick said, changing comprehension, but it's not typically the cause of a learning disability. So if there is actually something, and it sounds like this person's been dealing with this their whole life, then long overdue for a detailed evaluation.
Yeah, and if they're on like anti-epileptic meds already, remember they mess up our cognitive stuff. So
Got prescribed Keppra, 1,000 milligrams a day, 2 pills. Is this the final dose or is it just starting one? For how many years? Those are two different questions. I got prescribed Keppra, 1,000 milligrams a day, 2 pills, each 500 milligrams. Is this the final dose or just starting one? I forgot to ask the neuro. I know it's different for everyone, but I want to know about your case. How many years will I stay on Keppra before tapering down or leaving it? I was in my late teens to early 20s. I don't remember anything. I don't remember yesterday. So take that.
Yeah, to expect anybody to or to get an impression of what your treatment plan is going to be on a medication, how quickly you're going to ascend and like descend off of it. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's just not something you can really relate to any other patient with, especially Keppra. But 500 once, I think 500 once a day was what they started me off to. Maybe it was like 250 AM PM or something like that. That was one of the quick ascending ones because I think 6,000 is like the max dose. They usually start off at a higher dose there.
I have experience with Kepra, but I forgot the question. Can somebody repeat it for me?
It sounded like they were basically just asking for insight from others that have been on Kepra. How much did you start off with? How long were you on it? Things like that.
You know, the person says, how many years will they stay on it before tapering down or leaving it? Yeah, I don't
Oh,
remember those days.
I don't really get that part of it, but I was started on 500 twice a day, so 1,000 per day. And then moved up to 750 twice a day. So I can't do math, but uh whatever that number is, I was moved on to that pretty quickly. But there's no thoughts of like tapering.
You still on it?
Yeah, I am.
Go ahead, Rick.
I was on Kepra 1,000 twice a day for it was either 3 weeks or just a little bit over 3 weeks. I had a really bad reaction to it. So, everybody's different. I had a coworker who was the mellowest person that I thought he just didn't care about anything, but turns out he was on a lot of Kepra, and somehow he was like sleeping at his desk and things like that. So it affects people differently, which is why we try it. It didn't work for me at all. My coworker was surprised about my reaction to it. So with all that, you can't say, oh, I'm on it for a little bit and taper off. It depends. If it's something that's working, you don't want to taper off. You may not work. So that's really something for the person posting the question and their doctor to work through it.
Yes.
Well, it looks like at some point I was on 1,000 milligrams a day of Keppra. I mean, it failed, but it looks like it was around October of 2021. And they may have upped it after that. I could keep going through my bag, but I was if you want to know, I was on at least that much, and I weigh about 100 pounds, if that gives you any insight, person who asked the question. Frankly, I don't like Keppra, but if it works for you, great.
How's that 100 pounds for you? Because I'm 170 and I feel like I'm gonna blow away. I feel like I've lost so much weight, and this 170, I feel like the wind moves me every time it blows one direction. We got one here. It says, hey friends, my depression has kicked into overdrive as I can't handle this disability anymore. Is anyone on depression medication along with their epilepsy meds? I'm on 100 milligrams of Excopri, 300 milligrams of lamotrigine, 300 milligrams of Briviact. What do I do? And there's capitals, so what do I do? It's like screaming.
Have they already had some kind of bad reaction? Or
I
they just
read
feel like
you
they're
all I
getting
could
like
see.
over prescribed? Yeah, it sounds like maybe they're just stressing because they're getting overwhelmed at the aspect of taking that much medication, or the combination of feeling like now they have another diagnosis because they were prescribed a antidepressant. So maybe in that case, if your doctor's ordering you to take this, don't be shy to ask why and do your research. Another conversation with the pharmacist, if you've already got, your doctor's opinion and a second opinion, if you're confident that they do have your best interests, but you still have questions, then there's the pharmacist. But yeah, if you don't feel comfortable, don't be shy about not just willingly submitting.
Don't be shy, guys. Come on, somebody. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I wouldn't take an antidepressant. I would just smoke weed. It's a natural antidepressant. And if you're depressed, it'll help you out.
Yeah, you make me want to smoke pot.
There you go.
Anyone else? Oh man.
I
Hey.
was going to say, prior to starting Xcopy, I was already on Lexapro. And I was on Lexapro for 20 milligrams. And which is an antidepressant medicine. But also, if your depression went into overdrive, see a therapist.
That's a good one.
This one's
Just-
another rant here saying, oh, go ahead, Rick.
Oh, so I feel that so there's an echo going on. So I don't know if people are signed
I
in
was just gonna message
multiple.
Pookie about it. Either Pookie or Toaster.
I'm
Oh,
glad
Jeff
I'm
is
not the
unmuted
only
too.
one that's hearing it.
So, it's just like with me for, every time I hear my own voice or any voice echoing back, it kind of distracts me, but it looks like it's gone now. So everybody hear me okay? Okay. So, I guess first of all, was the person on antidepressants before, and I could imagine being diagnosed and then having to take all that medication is definitely overwhelming. So joining a group like this to talk about it, joining any type of a group, going to therapy, having hobbies, going out doing something. I totally understand, these are, depression's no laughing matter. And depression also has to do with not just mood, it's also chemical imbalance, which, hello, we're taking chemicals. So it's not just a check these boxes off and you're not depressed, or somebody saying don't be depressed. So it's a matter of try a bunch of different things, and definitely talk about it. And like I said, this type of a setting I think would be perfect, as well as letting the doctor know, and getting some other assistance. I think it would be really helpful.
And if you've ever had depression before, it's a lot easier for your brain to slip into the same patterns. So, just if you had some depression before you were diagnosed, and now you're really depressed again, just understand that's because it's like a super highway and it just reconnected, and you just really got to do something about it before it's too late. That's all. And I don't know how I feel about Lexapro particularly, but definitely talk to your doctor, and therapy. Therapy's always good. I'll shut up now.
Anytime you advocate for something, we want to hear it. Sailor Mom has knowledge and insight to share, and we can all benefit. Because right now I was looking for other posts to read, and it's just a lot of rants. This one is saying I've been on outrageous arrest videos kick lately, so I mean this one's obviously like looking for it, but it's about faking a seizure, saying it amazes me how many people try to fake a seizure and how poorly they perform at it, saying, come on, I want to see some blood squirting out of your mouth or bleeding, gash on your head, or hundreds of other things that I've experienced throughout my professional epileptic career. Have you guys ever seen somebody try to fake one?
No, but I
I've
heard
seen
about it.
TikToks. I've
Yesterday.
seen TikTok. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no,
Tell
I
us.
was just gonna say my husband had this. Somebody was doing something yesterday, and it was two dudes together. They were doing it in like Walmart or whatever, And I was like, I have never, why would you think that is funny, first of all? I don't know.
Your mic cut out there. Oh, we can't hear you.
I think she said she's
She
doing that on
said she
purpose.
was done. It's cool. Yeah. What
Okay.
were you saying, Mark?
Me?
Oh, okay. I thought I
What?
heard somebody else speaking up about seeing people faking seizures.
Yeah, I seen a video of it. I showed you guys the other day. That was about it. And yeah, they're talking about that's a social experiment. It said, oh, people.
Yeah, I had a question about this too because so many people get the diagnosis of psychogenic seizures. So I made a TikTok account and I searched for psychogenic seizures, which is probably my fault. And I don't know if anyone's done this or seen one, but I am really curious, like how do they make the distinction based on watching somebody or if ones on TikTok are actually what they look like?
No professionals or respecting professional would ever make a diagnosis just based on watching a video. That would have to be EEG type.
Yeah, I guess I'm asking like what they look like, which is kind of probably a question I'm not going to get answered unless we get somebody who only has that diagnosis, which is what I'm curious about. Because a lot of doctors will just slap on that, I feel, from what I've been reading. Without, I mean, even if somebody has a clean EEG, sometimes they just slap it on, which to me seems negligent. So I'm curious, like, what the experience of somebody who's had that diagnosis is.
Oh,
Are you talking about the diagnosis of PNES?
Yeah,
I have
especially for
both.
people who only have that, or Toaster, go ahead.
Sorry, I have both. And it was over the course of over a year, about 4 different tests. Um, before I got surgery, I was diagnosed with. They saw it on the EEG, but they also noticed other ones that didn't look the same. I would still stiffen up, um, but it wasn't. You couldn't see my muscles moving underneath my skin. So I was diagnosed with PNES. And yes, I can tell a difference afterwards. The PNES ones are that I can jump up and just go back to what I'm doing. Seizure ones, I'm just out. I am zombie for the rest of the day. And the good news is, with my seizure journal, I've been able to again keep track and tell. And I actually have not had a PNES seizure in over a month. They've all been epileptic ones. So yeah,
Do you thank you for sharing that. That's kind of answers my question. Do you get treatment for those or do you just stop doing them?
so I go to therapy. I have she is the biased opinion best therapist in the world. Her son actually also has epilepsy, so it's we clicked right away. And so when I came up with the hey, can you help me with this? And she was like, oh yeah, I gotcha. And I've been working with her for almost a year now. Um, the therapist I had before, I don't think helped me that much. But that was before my life changed.
So did I hear right when you said that you had the PNES seizures that you did have something about like not being able to see your muscles move? So those do manifest
Oh no,
physically?
that's what my mom says. My
Okay, so are
normal
you present
seizures,
for
normal
those? Are you
seizures,
aware?
you can see my muscles like contracting and
Yeah, yeah.
detracting.
The convulsions.
Yeah,
So during the
Um,
PNES, I was under the impression that they got away with the PNES diagnosis for the people who said, like, I just feel a twitch but can never get the evidence of it. So do you
no,
definitely
that's
have physical symptoms when you have a
yes,
PNES?
yes.
Oh, okay, you do. Okay.
You start sweating, um, and it's just I don't know how else to describe it. I just start sweating. Um, it's not the same type of fear. I know that makes no sense that I would get during a focal. Um, but it's with the focal, it's world-ending dread. With the PNES, it is I gotta get out of here fear until it just overwhelms me and I just can't do anything else anymore.
That makes sense. Thanks for explaining. I won't dig any deeper. Sorry.
No, no, you're good. You're good. I don't mind.
Well,
If you guys
my
don't
only
mind, but
other
I'm,
thing about
but
the PNES.
I am on my, I have taken my medication. So if I fall asleep, I'm sorry.
Okay, okay, so I promise this will be the last question. Like for the focals, for example, like a lot of before I was on this, I guess, kind of better balance of control, the focals always led to a tonic-clonic. Do your PNES usually progress to more
No, not to a
generalized?
tonic-clonic.
Oh, okay.
No. Um, but again, that's another reason how we know the difference.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
tell that one to my
Do,
mom.
do you keep or do you retain consciousness through?
Yes. For the
Yeah.
PNES ones. Yeah. But not epileptic ones.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know. Anne could tell you about it too.
Oh, Anne knows
Oh,
everything. We all know that.
Well, Anne's been around the block a couple times.
Anne knows everything.
But
Anne's
that's
been
the
around the
thing. She's
world a
had
couple times.
so much experience, and she can remember it. She can remember names of legislators and lobbyists. Who the fuck can do that with seizures?
Right.
I'm proud of her.
Really not me, man. Anne's amazing.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Hey, dang it.
Yeah. I have one that says, my family backed out after years of evaluations for my brain. I feel betrayed and devastated. I'm a 22-year-old female. I don't even know where to begin. I've been living with drug resistant epilepsy for 8 years. I've tried multiple medications, endured the side effects and stigma, the memory issues, the exhaustion, everything. And when meds failed, I agreed to go through years of pre surgical evaluation to see if I was a candidate for surgery. I did it all: MRI, PET, MEG, EEG, VEEG, neuropsych. Hospital says, oh no, hospital stays. I put my entire life on hold. I'm a year late to completing my degree because I believe the doctors and my family when they said this process would help lead to something better. And now, after all this time, I finally have a concrete option: laser ablation surgery for gray matter, heter- heterotopia. The success rate for isn't perfect, but there's a 40% chance of seizure freedom and even higher chances of seizure reduction. It's something I hope. It's hope. But suddenly my family is pulling back. They say they never agreed to surgery. They say I misunderstood their support. They're worried about what if something goes wrong, as if I'm not already living in a constant fear that my brain will betray me at any moment. And to make it worse, they're reminding me that they'd be the ones who'd have to take care of me if something happens. It feels manipulative, like they're trying to guilt me out of choosing myself. If they were never going to be there with surgery, they should have said that earlier. Not after years of testing it. Would have been easier to cope at the beginning when I questioned the possibility of surgery, not after letting me build hope and am done with the evaluations. Not after believing they were on my side. I feel completely shattered. I want this surgery. I need this surgery, but I can afford without them. But I can't afford it without them. And now I don't even feel safe wanting it. I'm angry. I'm heartbroken, and I don't know how else to move forward. I don't want to keep surviving. I want a chance to live. What would you say to this person? Come on, I want to hear what
Go ahead,
everyone would
Rick.
say to this person. Let's get involved.
Well, I could understand where his family's coming from because they probably did a little bit of research and they're scared. Is what I hope is the sudden, changing of their mind. Um, I had a situation where I needed brain surgery. We had zero time to think about it or research it or anything like that. So we went with it. So what I would recommend for this person is to sit down with the family members and, if they really care for this person, they will all get together and go over research. They will talk with the doctors. They will invite the doctor for some type of a meeting and discuss here's what the risks are, here's what the rewards are, and really go over the numbers, the percentages to show, look, this surgery is more worth it than not. And I think that, hopefully the person's family, it's about a caring perspective and that they're nervous and that this would help their fears. That's what I gathered from this post is that, that's what I felt that the family is maybe backing off from.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, being told there could be risks is scary when you're a family member, but I don't know if they
Yeah.
really want to do it. I would agree with everything Rick said.
Yeah, and like when my wife's biggest fear was as they're wheeling me into the operating room, is they did warn there's a chance that I might not remember her. And that really freaked her out. And if we had any type of time, because the abscess was ready to burst in my brain, if we had any type of time, we might have had to talk about it, but we didn't. So I totally understand, some of the fear that the family members may have here.
Well, the longer you have to think about it, the scarier it gets, frankly. I mean,
Yeah, especially when you see what type of tools they're going to use to cut your head open.
oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kate, you guys, how would you talk to this person about this? They said they feel betrayed and devastated. They want to hear for
It
Kate,
sounds
they said.
it sounds like I mean, Jeff's unmuted. You got something to say, bud? I want everybody else to speak up. I'm sick of my own
I,
voice.
I don't know. Since I've been on Reddit, both through epilepsy and the universe board, I've heard such horrific stories about parents and siblings and how they treat their children with epilepsy. It just it sickens me. But the other thing is, I'm looking at everything from a 77-year-old's perspective, and I might look at it differently if I was a teenager like Ann, or uh, a young man like Angel. But I'm not, so I can't. As much as I would like to think like that, I just can't. Uh, but what I would do, I would say, talk to them. I would go in the hospital and have the surgery, and let them deal with it after. But that's probably not a wise thing to do, and that's coming from my 77-year-old self. So I don't know.
Unfortunately, he probably just, yeah, I mean, he probably just can't take that route. because of the cost.
Yeah.
A lot of prior authorizations and down payments essentially needed before they'll even book it. So, I mean, I think Rick said it perfectly about just keeping the focus on the facts, why this
Yeah.
is worth it, necessary even, and worth still worth the risk of side effects, and just be prepared to not, I don't want to say gaslight them, but I kind of had the family thinking what I believed, that after the surgery, medications are over. I have a chance of getting back to full-time work and behind the wheel even, and be realistic at the same time. You know, be real with your family, be totally honest, and keep it to the facts, not about money. And it's got to be hard at this point because you want it so bad. But the more you seem desperate, that might be a burden for them
And
from
can
their
I just say
perspective.
before I have to leave for a while, I just want to say we're all lucky that Rick is still here with us. That's it. And I'll see you
Absolutely.
all later if you're still here.
Yeah, I'll
Absolutely.
be
See
Bye,
you then.
Jeff. That
Yeah.
is so true.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jeff.
No,
I think the post said they want to hear from M next.
I think
Okay.
at some point they're just gonna have to stand up and say, "This is my life." And it's gonna hurt when they do it at that moment, but afterwards, when they have the possibility of, well, yeah, working again, driving again, it, and even the just the reduction in seizures is amazing. Of what that's done, at least for my life. So I think it's worth it. But again, I'm biased. I
Yes,
also got
that's
I
true.
extremely
want
lucky. Duke paid for mine. All I had to do was give up part of my brain.
Mm. Yeah, I
Take
remember
it.
you saying that free surgery, as long as you can have the brain.
I wish I could. Oh, I still need to post that picture of the hippocampus.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying something about that.
Are you talking like you got a real picture of
My
y-
hippocampus, yes.
wow. Okay. That's one for the books.
Yep. What can I
Anthony, you were
say?
saying
Duke is
something?
awesome.
Oh,
Okay, I do have to go to bed now.
all right. You
Sweet
have a good night.
dreams.
Night, Toaster. Thanks for
good
checking
See you
in with
night,
us.
later.
Yeah,
sir.
good
Love
night,
you guys.
Toaster. Have a good one.
Let your
I
parents
will
ground
do.
you.
Angel, were you saying something?
I was going to say we all dream and we all look for that miracle, like take to take the seizures away. Um, we all do it. Take the epilepsy away, and you have to put yourself in that situation. Is this that situation where you're just like looking for the next miracle to take it away, not even sure about it, or have you really, really done your homework? And, you know, if you really have done your homework, then yeah, it's risk versus reward. Yeah. It's, you got to go with it and you got to get your folks on board, but it is your life.
Yeah, it's just another one of those harsh reality ones.
Yes.
This
I
one
want to
is
say
somebody
amen to
saying,
that.
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to
Oh,
say
okay.
amen to that. Angel is always like flying in as an angel and just
There you
like giving
go.
some great empathetic, like very true words.
Yeah. So this one is celebrating 1 year seizure free. Genuinely can't believe it. I've had multiple seizures per month for more than a decade, and now I'm celebrating my first anniversary year, drug resistant, so it's all because I stopped both studying and working, not willing to sacrifice my health anymore for the sake of capitalism. It's insane. I always thought it was something I could never experience myself and rather was for others to live. But yeah, now I just want to keep going. And all the comments, of course, are just congratulations. But wow, over a decade and now a year drug resistant. So I don't know if they're implying that they're not even taking medicine, but that would be a miracle. You guys ever think if any major changes took place that a lot of other epileptics would be able to cope or at least have less seizures?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? My audio.
Yeah, no problem. They were just saying that they're 1 year seizure free after over a decade after stopping studying and working. Yes, it's stopped both studying and working. Now they're 1 year seizure free. And they just said they always thought it was too good to be true. Now I want to keep going, and I'm impressed. But do you think like major lifestyle changes for other epileptics would make that much of a difference, or this is like the one in a million?
Personally, I think if I went on, if I cut out carbs, I probably would stop having these crazy focals during the day where I get weird and, whatever, like earlier. Yeah, I think that my diet, I just can't give up bread. It's just such a problem. It's like I'd almost take like getting weird on Zoom than like giving up bread. I don't know. But I also like this person said they're seizure free for a year. Are you having nocturnal seizures? You should get a nanny cam. I'm like so suspicious of that because I can't imagine it. Kevin, I think is the only one who's mostly seizure free. Yeah. Kevin, do you have anything on that?
I actually don't eat bread. I a lot. I do eat it, but rarely. Like I don't eat a lot of pasta or not even pizza very much. I do eat it, but rarely. And as far as food goes, I just put chicken into the oven and I'm gonna cook broccoli with that. And yeah, I stick with lean meats and not a lot of red meat, rarely on the red meat. Um, yeah. And I know carbs. I was eating Pringles earlier, so I know, I know. I'm not perfect, so I'm
After
good there.
your VNS, if you have Pringles, does it really affect you?
I don't feel great. I mean, I'm a little dizzy, but not like seizure dizzy. Just like my body doesn't feel strong, because this isn't food. This is just junk food. Yeah, know what I mean?
The salt might just be
Tastes good though.
dehydrating you and you're getting dizzy.
Yeah,
At least it tastes good.
there you go.
Oh, I have
The
a
bright side to
question.
everything.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying there's a bright side to everything. Delicious, but it isn't good for you. You just gotta
Hey,
choose.
there you go.
Go ahead, Em.
Okay, this is kind of a dumb one, but everybody, if your seizures were a movie, what genre would they be?
Sci-fi.
What was that?
Sci-fi. If they made a movie about epileptics, it would be a sci-fi to everyone else. We would be like, "Oh, this is cool," but then everyone else would be like looking at it like Star Wars.
It
Or
would
Michael
kind
is
of be
talking
like no
about.
plot, but it would just be weird the whole time.
I would, I,
Yes.
No, I couldn't let it be an accurate biopic. It would have to be Lucy, it would have to be some crazy action movie that like, is the cure for or how to actually utilize like your brain's full potential and come up with superpowers in the meantime. Like, yeah, I would definitely want like more of the action than sci-fi side because I think if it was too close to reality, it would just be depressing.
Yeah, could you imagine, found footage shaky cam the whole time?
Well, yes, because I have a nanny cam. But if you could see it out of our eyes, if that's what you're saying, like, oh my God. I want to punish everybody by inviting them into my movie of seizures.
Are you gonna have a warning at the front?
No, no,
And
you're just like, I strap you into a roller coaster and we're just going for it.
I got something here. It says, have any of you been traumatized in a hospital setting? They thought I was having a panic attack with seizure-like symptoms. Well, my chart says I have epilepsy and seizures. I was left alone for 35 minutes while a nurse looked at my chart and accused me of having ridiculous panic attacks and had 5 plus, so seizures during at that time. Don't remember much coming in and out of it, in and out of consciousness and worrying. I was about to die and then asking for help, and no one answered. During that time, trying to sleep and recover since discharge has been traumatic and distressing. Has anybody been traumatized in a hospital situation? I think I have. The yes is there, but the time isn't there. Yes, it's happened, but I can't remember when. I can't remember the situation. And go.
I think when I comprehended what the bill was going to be, once I was off the insurance and I was responsible for my own medical bills, that's probably the first time that I would call one even concerning because I was just like counting the minutes thinking, how do they actually charge this? What was my last itemized bill? And I wasn't even aware enough to get on the app to look at the last itemized bill. And yeah, that's the most frustrating part. Being in the ER, wanting to leave, but knowing that you're not all the way there yet and nobody's going to want you to leave.
People who have tonic-clonics and end up at the hospital, have you ever ended up there alone, like without anybody, with you?
Plenty of times.
I think your camera's frozen.
Mine are Angels. Angels looks frozen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
So
talking
you
about
know?
Angel.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
back. All right, good.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I walked, like I said, the last time I remember, I was just going to go get milk from around the corner and woke up in the hospital, you know? But there's been plenty of other times where I just was just walking around. I don't know what happened. I wake up in the hospital. I'm like, okay, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I woke up in panic and there alone and didn't see somebody for so long. I just left. Well, yeah, I guess that would be kind of traumatizing. I had to take the IV out myself. That was great.
Yeah, I've done that. I love to wander. So when my partner was gone, I had a series of clusters that I don't know if it went to both sides of my brain, but I was like fucked. So I went over to my neighbor's. Thankfully, she's great, but she drove me to the ER and then nobody came for a while. So I was just, all I remember is like looking out the window and being like, ah, it's such a nice day out. And then I just wandered out of the apartment and went right back to my neighbor's place. So, I mean, thankfully she's very understanding, but Yeah, it's crazy how they'll just like leave you alone even if you tell them you're having seizures. Like, I don't know. It's like they should come out with something and then you could just wander home.
I'd rather be able to do that than be restrained.
Yeah. I had some bad hospital experiences. Yeah, just coming out of the seizure and they just want information and like it takes me very long to get my bearings. I don't really know what's going on and that survival instinct is they want insurance information and uh, I think I was just in my teens or I think I was like around 18 or 19 and I took out the IV and I ran out and I was still very disoriented and the hospital was about a mile from my like I've lived here like my whole life. So I know this town, you know, like the back of my hand. So it took me like 2 hours to get home. I was just so lost and disoriented. You know, I didn't know where I was. I, I just had to get out of that hospital, and I was just, you know, it's just, I didn't know where the hell I was. That was my worst hospital experience.
I wonder why if you have medical bracelet, like they're aware you say I'm having seizures, they just they should just assume that's true. Like there's not some protocol to make sure you don't wander away unsafely.
Welcome to understaffed hospitals.
I don't even know how the hell I got out. Just
Hey, at least you weren't still wearing the gown. You know you would have gotten picked up then.
yeah.
Did you just throw it off and just, take off?
Pants on, shirt. Oh, gone.
And then
Oh gosh, okay. I one time went and I had post-ictal psychosis. So I was so dehydrated. They put on this like acrylic hospital gown, and I was so dehydrated that it just puffed out like a balloon. It was so crazy. So I'm just sitting there and I look like the Michelin Man, and I think that electricity is like causing it. I don't even know what I thought. I would have to ask my partner, but oh my God, I'm like full of electricity, just making myself the Michelin Man. So I think some of my horror stories are just from my weird fucking thoughts before I got a medication at the hospital.
yeah, that's dope. Dope story. The Michelin Man.
What caused the psychosis? Is that like is
Uh,
that the post-ictal thing that just happens after like the bad ones?
yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. The EMU didn't really explain. They just said that I had it, but my seizures were getting very bad, and I was working in light manufacturing, and I have occipital and parietal issues. Hey, no licking, no licking. Um, sorry, my dog is like he's just into it right now. Yeah, so apparently if you have that, you're likely to get post-ictal psychosis. I don't know why, because that's what your brain decided. It was like, let's go on a very fun, weird journey into like thinking
And
you're
now
full
you're
of
the Michelin
electricity.
Man.
And now, yeah, and then you're the Michelin Man. So that's just what happened. But yeah, it was just, I think that they were just repeating and repeating. I don't know if that's like status epilepticus. It's hard to tell when you're in.
Yeah, I think we figured out the only difference between status and clusters is that there is a break in between in clusters. That you do regain some kind there's a break. There's some time where you're not having a seizure, but it's not long before the next one. And in status, it is nonstop and
Yeah,
definitely a little more
that's
harsh.
probably what it was because I had to go to the hospital and get like emergency Ativan and then it stopped. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recommend it though. I don't recommend trying
Mm-mm.
to do that.
No, never inducing psychosis intentionally.
Yeah,
So, Brandon,
status
welcome back.
given to me rescue.
Right, right.
There we go. Hey everyone. Sorry. I could not. I was busy earlier, but glad I was able to pop in before the end. Obviously.
Always.
What's been the
Here for tomorrow.
icebreaker and subjects? I did like I tried to hop on as quick as possible, so I didn't really read what you had posted in the chat. But so icebreaker and topics for today.
Icebreaker. What motivates you to stay alive?
Hmm.
That's deep for an icebreaker.
A
Yeah,
good one,
sorry.
huh?
Now damn.
Well, there was
Okay.
another money question too about, but tonight it was, would you take the money or what was the alternative?
The cure for epilepsy.
Yeah, or the cure. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, no, I responded to that one on Tuesday, where I had said cure all the way. Um, I think for me it's teaching something that's going to keep more people and kids alive, I think. Uh like that's what's keeping me going, and it's something that I didn't know would be a passion, 10 years ago, but now it is. And that's, yeah, I think like keeping people informed about something that's going to keep them alive. Yeah.
Okay, I got something here that everyone can help because it's something about epilepsy. So
There we go.
it says help please. Hi all, sitting wondering if anyone can help and has gone through the same thing after epilepsy surgery, feel their personality change and they don't feel right with it. Don't feel right with it happening. Tough enough making the decision of going for surgery. The healing part feels the longest ever, nearly 2 years since surgery. I'm still feeling I'm not completely healed. Can anyone understand me? I haven't had a surgery. Oh, that would be Kate, Rick, and Kevin.
Come on, you guys got to take it first this time.
I was going to say no specific order. Go ahead.
No, Kate always takes the reins.
Okay, I'll take this one. My specific surgery takes about a year and a half to 2 years to work. I had the VNS surgery. That's the vagus nerve stimulator, and um, it's actually used for epilepsy, and some people use it for deep depression. That's true too. Uh, I don't think it changed me mentally at all, but it worked very well as far as the seizures go. But what was that, Pookie, about changing a person mentally or physically? Yeah, it definitely changed me. Uh, my seizures. You just have to wait as far as that goes. A year and a half to 2 years. That's how long it takes for that to work. So yeah, a little patience for the BNS.
But it took you a year and a half to to adjust to it, and
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you keep
so
going back, and they um, I should know this specifically. They
Just say they
Okay.
tweak it.
Aphasia.
yeah, they tweak it every time you go back, and yeah, and just a little patience, and with the VNS and satisfactory results, but it takes a little time. I'll tell you that.
I mean, so do new meds, right?
Well, yeah, meds, also meds, but I'm starting to go down on the meds, finally. So that's good too. In addition to the VNS, the meds are starting to go down.
And that's a big deal.
That's a
What
huge deal.
Yes.
what
Yeah.
what were you on dosage wise before versus what are you on now? Because I'm really interested in knowing, just how much less medication you have to take now.
The hell was it? I was on 2000 Depakote, and I'm on 1500 now. That's the only thing they lowered. Yeah, that's it. But I'm looking to get off Topamax, because that's a huge they call that Dopamax. That's the nickname for that. I want to get off that. Yeah, that's what people call it.
Yeah.
So I want to switch off that.
Sounds like you're well on your way.
Yeah.
Good job. So mine was 5 years ago. They had me on 3 medications at the time. I think it was the Carbatrol, the Keppra, and maybe that was one of the Fycompa days. That Briviac? I don't know, one of them. But they wanted me on 3 at the same time. Max dose of Keppra, max on the other AED, and it was just too much. Felt over medicated after the surgery. Now I'm on. I just stopped the clobazam 2 days ago, and I'm on 500 Keppra twice a day. I wouldn't say controlled seizures, but a lot less tonic-clonics, and maybe 4 or 5 focals a month, and so far hasn't interfered too bad. But I like having the service dog and just adapting to what still happens. It works. We'll live with it. I'd rather not be on the meds.
Rick?
So could you repeat the question, or at least part of it? I want to make sure I got it.
Kevin or Kate, can you answer that? Because I don't remember the question, and I've
I think
wandered
it was
away
just a
from that
before
place.
and
Alright.
after scenario. How how
Okay.
do you feel now after your surgery, and compare before and after.
Okay. All right. Well, before surgery, no epilepsy, no seizures. But I had chronic migraines because I had CSF, which is cerebral spinal fluid leak. I had ear infections that ate away at bone. Um, so I decided to go have deviated septum surgery to help with drainage because that's what they thought was the problem. And that introduced bacteria into my brain, which then caused seizures, a brain abscess, and then surgery. So the surgery, both surgeries, a deviated septum surgery, and then removing the brain abscess formed scar tissue on my brain, which then gave me epilepsy. So the after effects weren't so great. However, saved my life, and that's a good part. So I would say under different circumstances, other people have surgery to fix their epilepsy. I had epilepsy. I had surgery to cause it.
Well, just thank God you're still here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, we're very happy you're here because we all need music recommendations and you're wonderful.
Thank you. You guys are all wonderful too, and you know it.
Thank you.
Was there?
I have a, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Rick if there was any sort of is the word I'm looking for recourse or like response, I guess, from the hospital for essentially causing your seizures, you know, like what happened after the fact, I guess.
Um, it was one of those things where they covered themselves by, oh, that would have happened anyway.
Got
Because
it.
I was getting ear infections. I did have a little bit of
Okay.
herniated brain tissue, so
Yeah.
they chalk it up to, well, that would have happened one way or another eventually.
Yep. Lawyers got to cover that end.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That makes
Yep.
sense.
Yeah.
Sorry. And what were you saying, Em?
I was gonna bring up a question I found on the epilepsy subreddit, but I wanted to make sure you guys didn't have anything else to add on the last one.
Go ahead.
Well, I
All right.
gotta dip out and say goodnight to everyone. It's bedtime here. So great talking to you all.
Right.
Good night,
All right.
Mark.
Good
Night,
night.
Mark.
See you Tuesday.
Good night, Mark. See you
Night.
again.
Night, Mark, and night to
Good
your
night.
cat who's behind you as well.
Yes. Oh, yes. This is Kitty. Yes. And her sister is down there, Poofy.
Oh,
So,
well, good night to the
anyways,
whole fam.
yes. Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, well, I just heard a really intentionally loud yawn, so I think that's my cue. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Bye, Kate.
Right on,
Night.
Kate.
Yep.
Shoot.
Okay. My husband said my seizures are the biggest fake news. My husband said my seizures are the biggest fake news. To his credit, I'm a bit of a hypochondriac, and this channelopathy diagnosis completely blinded me and us. My seizures aren't what I thought I would have thought of as seizures before this. How do I even respond? I've explained these episodes to him before and told him that when I described them to my neuro, the neuro immediately said it was a seizure, at which point I remembered I had a family history of unexplained seizures that I had forgotten. I'm trying to educate him in case my seizures progress. I'm on topiramate, which worked for my mom for decades. Has anybody else dealt with getting diagnosed in a relationship and their partner being in denial? I'm also in denial, but I'm looking at the facts, if that makes sense.
I have opinions, but I have nothing to like nothing in terms of like experience, I guess, you know. I have opinions on this, but
Opinions are what we're looking for.
Yeah, give them,
Somebody's
do
gonna
it.
see it and say
well,
that's
they
their question.
I mean, okay, we all are on Reddit and we have all seen the like am I overreacting
Mm-hmm.
posts that pop up, and if a post popped up with someone asking if it was like okay or like that they like freaked out at their husband because their husband didn't believe that their epilepsy was real, there would be a lot of comments from people being like divorce your husband because that dude sucks. But obviously that's not what we're trying to say, but that's what would end up being said. You know what I mean?
So wait, are you saying you agree with those comments?
No, I'm not saying I agree with them. I'm just saying, like, this is what a lot of people would say, but I do think that their husband needs to sort of educate themselves because that's not okay behavior. you need to respect your partner's, uh, even if they claim to be a hypochondriac, which even them saying I'm a hypochondriac is kind of a good sign already to show that they are recognizing that sometimes they can be a little off. But in this case, I think that they are correct and that their husband needs to respect that. So.
I agree with that. We have a lot of people in here who have great partners, I think, or are just
I
hanging out.
Yeah, my partner's great.
Mine's in the
Me
other room
too.
and he's amazing. So, yeah.
Just looking for opinions. So when these people ask or look at this, they can say that's their question and they got an answer or opinion. It says, I had a seizure at a concert and woke up paralyzed. I stumbled and then woke up in an ambulance. It took until we got to the ER and I was a little more awake for me to realize I couldn't move my legs. I had a similar experience about a year ago, but I was alone, and all I remember was waking up paralyzed in my room, on my room, in my room, my dorm room floor. I have a huge blank spot in my memory before that, and at the time we didn't know what caused it because I'm coming to suspect I had a seizure then too. It lasted 36 hours. Wow. Last time, and I don't know if I can handle being paralyzed for that long again. I know on the grand scheme of everything, that's not that long, but as someone who can walk, it feels like a long time. Update: I just called my neurologist's office because I've started to lose ability to hold up my own head, and the strength has still not fully returned to my left side. They are worried about the fact that I woke up from my fall, unable to move my legs, that I am weak on my left, that I am losing my ability to hold up my head, and the numbness developing in my neck.
What's the question here? I'm sorry.
They're just asking
Seizure
for
and
advice.
Yeah, I'm confused as well about what the
yeah,
actual question
yeah.
is.
It's under support, so they just want support.
Okay.
If it if it's a seizure and it's more than 5 minutes, it's a long time. So
Mhm.
don't throw yourself under the bus that it's not a long time because that's a long time.
They said 36
Um,
minutes.
they said
Says
36
36 minutes.
hours.
Yeah, it says
Oh,
36 hours.
oh, of straight season?
No, of paralyzed.
Oh, paralyzed. Sorry. There was a lot to that. So I got a little confused about the details. My bad. Uh, I don't know. I've never been paralyzed from a seizure, so
Yeah, me either. I've heard about sleep paralysis, and I think I went through that, but um, paralysis after a seizure. For the most part, I can get up and walk, and usually when the ambulance get here, and I can, when I am awake, I walk to the ambulance. I mean, I walk to the thing instead of getting in a stretcher because it's
I
kind of
think
embarrassing in all these apartment windows.
I think most of us like our postical period. We're kind of like I know for me, I'll like either stumble around or just sort of be curled into a ball. It's one or the other, but it's not like paralyzed.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Um,
Okay, can I ask a question about that?
Go
Uh,
ahead.
I was just eating dinner with my wife, and all of a sudden, I found myself just staring at a spot on the table, and she was talking to me, and I knew she was talking to me, but I couldn't lift my head off that spot. Um, and I've had I get most of my seizures at night. I've had 2 absent seizures during the day, but that's the first time anything like that happened to me. And now I'm getting, the usual headache afterwards. Is that a focal aware, or is that something weird? Because I wasn't paralyzed, but I was mentally paralyzed.
Sounds like a focal aware. It
It
was like a
sounds, yeah.
situation. It was like a
Yeah.
situation I had when somebody was talking to me and
Yeah.
I was out of it, and like I tell that story a few times. The person was talking, and when I came out of it, all I heard was nachos. How's that sound? And
Yeah, those have happened to me too, Jeff. Like exact same situation where
Mm.
it's like I'm there, but I can't like move my head sort of thing. I'm just like the focus point is
yeah,
is what
Yeah.
feels like is keeping you in control. Is just like I need this spot. Just this spot is what's keeping me like coherent.
Yeah. My wife was saying to me, look at me. And I'm saying, I can't.
I can't. I can't.
I can't.
Yep.
I'm not in control of my brain. It's here and it's not moving. I would like to move, but I can't.
Yep.
I'm so relieved. Like, I'm sorry that's happening to you. Like, really, it fucking blows. But I'm also relieved to hear you say that exact thing because, man, I have a medication gap right now. So, yeah, I'm with you there. And it's so like strange to hear someone else say the exact thing that you've experienced, like where it's like I feel like somebody's almost pulling me on an invisible string towards one point and then they just stop. And my partner was literally like M, and I could hear him. I was like aware, but I just couldn't, like, I just had to be right where I was.
Well, since I don't know a lot, I was trying to figure out if that was unaware because I haven't had them as far as I know.
I
I think
think,
that was
go ahead.
unaware because uh, my unawares, I wake up in situations like when I was pouring a drink for myself, and I was pouring the drink, and when I came out of it, there was just like the cup was overflowing with juice and stuff. That was my focal unaware. My focal aware, it was where I was listening to my stepdad. For some reason, I was focused on this tree outside, and I don't know why. And I'm just staring at this tree. I can't take my attention off of it. I can hear him talking, but I can't make out what he's saying. It's like being in a football stadium. You hear everybody, but you can't
Right.
make out what anybody's saying. And that's what it was like. And I wasn't even worried about it. I could just tell he was talking. And I was worried about this tree. It was just so green. I really don't know why I was staring at it, but I was stuck on it. And yeah, like I said, when I came out of it, he was like, "Nachos, how's that sound?" And I told him I heard nothing you just said, and I told him I was staring at that tree, and I was like, I just got on Reddit and I just learned that I just had a seizure. That's what that is. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you did look kind of out of it." And then those were the first few days of knowing other things are going on than I knew about years ago.
It's freaky.
Yeah.
Now I want to see this tree.
We were on the 7th floor, so there were so many trees. I don't even remember which one I was looking at because I looked out there after that, and I'm like, it was green, and there's a lot of green trees.
How were the nachos? Did you end up getting nachos?
We did end up getting nachos. The nachos were good.
There's Brandon with the important questions.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I
It's
was
like, come on.
nachos.
All right. We've all seen a tree, but let's talk about the important thing.
Nachos were good. It was like it wasn't actually nachos. He had the steak fries and cheese and some meat and stuff, and it was like steak meat. It was like the sliced pieces and not little ground beef pieces.
Okay,
It was
now I'm really
good.
curious. I need to know. That's a separate
You're
conversation. We
making
can
me
get back
want
on topic.
nachos.
It was like chili cheese. No, it wasn't like chili cheese fries. It was just like cheesy fries with meat, and it was delicious. Um,
nachos with chili cheese beans. Oh,
Yeah,
and
this one
some
just had
guacamole.
cheese. It had cheese and meat and fries. It was just like a bowl of good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I had told you earlier, like you asked me what I was making for dinner, and I was like, ah, making some nachos or no tacos. But yeah, they were good.
Yeah, I got
Jeff, how do you feel right now?
Uh, aside from talking to all of you, I feel confused. Um, my body hurts, but that's nothing new. I don't know if that's, you know, from the seizure or the weather here, or just my back in general, even though I had the epidural today. Uh, confused. More, mostly.
I'm glad that you came back here because it is confusing and it's just so weird. And sometimes it's just nice to like sit with other people. So I'm glad you came back here.
Well,
I'm feeling
Yeah.
pretty weird too. So,
yeah,
yeah.
I was going to, and then my wife said to me, "Why don't you go talk to your friends and see what they say, and just talk to them for a while, so you'll get back to yourself."
Your
I
wife
wonder if
is
the
great.
epidural.
She's
I
she's
love
a
that.
wonderful person.
I love that she phrased it that way too. Like, go talk to your friends because it really is like.
Well, listen, Brandon. I never met you, but we're friends.
Well, that's what I mean. None of
Yeah,
us have ever met in person, but we're
right.
all friends. Exactly.
Exactly. It's this is my family. It really is.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it is. I feel like I know you guys so much, and all I know is you guys have epilepsy.
I
Mm-hmm.
wrote the other day that this is the best thing that I've done since I've been diagnosed.
Oh.
Me too. Other than having kids, yeah, this is the best thing I've done.
Yep.
The most interesting thing I've done. Like I've done a lot of stuff, and since I've had epilepsy, this was the one thing that kept me consistent. I haven't had anything much. I haven't been good with consistency growing up. Um, I was never good at that. I would jump from hobby to hobby to hobby. Um, yeah, I started painting. Then I started DJing, and then I was like, I'm gonna start a podcast. And yeah, and
And we're
then
all glad you did.
the podcast turned from one idea to a different idea. So
Right.
that's what I mean by just undecisiveness. But just like after meeting you guys, I was like, I gotta keep doing this. This feels good. Then everybody else was like, this feels good. And every time I did it, I felt good the
How
next
often
day. So I
do
was like, I got something here. This makes me feel good the next day. And I truly don't understand it. But seriously, like the next day, like tomorrow, I'll be feeling good. I might get up and listen to music, walking around the house and stuff. And it's just like peaceful until someone says something. And I'll be like, damn, I could have made it till Tuesday. Yeah.
and it's not often that you get people with epilepsy together outside outside of EMU. You know, this is
There's
like, hey, we can sit and chat and out.
there's so few of us like in general that the odds of you know uh having somebody in close enough proximity uh to like talk to them is already low, but to have a group this big to talk to, it's impossible unless you live in like a major city, like New York City, Boston, San Francisco, whatever. It's impossible. You're not going to find this many people who are willing to talk and devote their time to something like this.
I
Yeah.
don't know that if you're in a bit big city, that those people would have the type of empathy that we have for each other. Because in a big city, they're all interested in themselves.
Come to
Yes.
Oakland. People, honestly, people are amazing here. Yeah, but I think you're right. Like people are very doing a thing in a big city, but come to Oakland. Oh my God, the people are wonderful.
I
I'm
love it.
I'm in Providence, and the Rhode Island driver like stereotype is actually very factual, where they are all horrible. Um, and me and my boss sort of came up with just a thing to say about people doing what they do on the road, and it's the Rhode Island mindset is fuck you, I'm doing something. And that's really what it is. It like I don't care. I need to do this, so I'm gonna do it. Like, okay.
I got a
It's
good one
not
here. Oh, go
strictly
ahead,
Rhode
Jeff.
Island.
What was wait, sorry, there was a jumble there.
It was not strictly Rhode Island.
I know it's not strictly, but like in New England, Rhode Island drivers get a bad rep, and it's for a reason.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, I had one here. It was a good one.
Hmm.
It says, "Can you have a seizure and not know?" I was on my porch smoking a joint, and when I came in the house after the joint was done, I felt like I had a seizure, but I remember the whole time smoking the joint. I don't remember a seizure, but I feel like I had a seizure. I didn't bite my tongue, but I do have a headache, and it's only one type of headache that comes like this, and it's the headache when I have a seizure. But I remember the whole time me sitting there smoking. So now I'm confused. Was I having a seizure and smoking, or was I smoking and had a seizure and I did not notice? Um,
I always think it's a seizure. Anybody asks, I'm like, that's a seizure. Everything is a seizure.
yeah, I think the question was, can you have a seizure without noticing? Yeah, I don't notice any of mine. I can say that. Once I notice.
100%. You can have a bunch of seizures without noticing, especially the tonic clinics. Um, yeah,
Yeah, like having focals and wandering off. Just like, how did I get here? I didn't know I had a seizure until I asked someone that I was playing video games with when the thing happened. So, um,
yeah. Absent seizures are all of that, you know. Don't notice happen.
I got something else. Now that you said absent seizures, you guys got to answer this one. It says it's a child's. It says zoning out or absent seizures. Just curious. I'm 15 years old. I had many times where I apparently zone out for a couple seconds, sometimes lasting a couple minutes, but I don't ever remember zoning out. Usually, when I'm nearby somebody, they'll ask, "What was that?" or "I was calling you," and I get very confused by this. I do sometimes say, "Thinking," but afterwards, I usually am very confused what they mean by that because I wasn't thinking. I don't even remember zoning out. I have asked what they mean, and they all say, I have, I think you were zoning out, which I have no memory of. Some people say I've done it while talking a few times. Do you think that I'm zoning out, or do you think I'm having an absence seizure? And what should I do?
Absent seizure and see a neurologist to get on medication.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, you need to have well, okay, the EMU told me that if you have absence seizures when when your meds stop, they're really obvious and they show up on both sides of the brain. I don't know if that's for everyone.
Yeah, that was right on time when Angel said absent seizures. This person says, wondering what type of seizures exactly I'm having. Seizures only happen during sleep or naps. The thing with mine, though, is that I can like feel when they're happening. I feel myself jerking, and I kind of feel myself trying to fight it. I sadly just had one a couple of hours ago, and I haven't really been told what kind of seizures these are. Does anyone else have the same thing happening? Any response would help. Thank you. I'm not exactly sure what nocturnal seizures exactly are, but the kind of sounds like it. We could get this from Em or Jeff.
Nocturnal or any seizures overnight. Well, while you're sleeping.
Yeah,
also
and you
said,
don't part of it, okay, I read that PNES, they say that people wake up before them, but if you're having nocturnal seizures, like Jeff said, like you have no idea. Like you do need a nanny cam or somebody to tell you because you are completely not conscious for it.
okay. Jeff, did you hear what I said?
Jeff might be in Wonderland right now.
Well, he just didn't. He was muted, and he didn't know what the heck he was doing.
Oh,
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
oh. Somebody's saying, I'm wondering what type of seizures I'm having. My seizures only happen during sleep or naps. The thing is, mine though, I can like feel when they're happening. I might feel myself jerking, and I can feel myself trying to fight it. I sadly just had one a couple of hours ago, and I haven't been told what kind of seizure these are. Does anyone else have the same thing happen? Any response? And thank you. Can you feel your nocturnals?
Sometimes I think I can, but I really can't say that I can. I can. No, I can't feel them.
Do you feel them like the next day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured that would at least be a thing, you know.
Yeah, definitely feel it the next day. But while it's happening, I'm asleep. When I had the thing just a few minutes ago, yes, I was aware, but generally I'm unaware.
Jeff,
So,
have you ever had any like I want to take back what I said earlier because sometimes when you're falling asleep and when you're waking up, you can be kind of aware, which I've definitely had like very vaguely like it doesn't feel like a seizure though, it just feels like I'm waking up. But I watched the footage and like what I think is me just holding my phone and then waking up was actually me holding my phone staring straight ahead at it for a minute and a half. And it was very frightening to see. So I wonder if like coming in and out of sleep, you've ever experienced something like that. Or Sia's also in the chat here talking about them.
No, I don't. When I wake up, I want to get a joint as fast as I can. So I don't think I stare at anything. And that's I'm being serious. It's not,
No,
it may be funny, but it's the truth. I don't think of
Jeff,
anything.
you're good.
I mean, but that's the first thing I do when I wake up. I put on, you know, shorts and a t-shirt or pants, and I run outside.
Yes,
you're running
especially
at
when
that
you're
age?
in pain.
You're
Sorry.
still running, Jeff?
Wait, are you using it? Are you using it for like joint pain? Because the running outside might not.
Well, Brandon, I say run. It's a crawl.
I got you. I got you.
I'm using it. I'm using it for two things: for joint pain, and I found my life has gotten much better since I'm a little high.
I agree. I'm right there with him. So
Yeah, I wish I could it doesn't work for me. It causes seizures, but I wish I could, man.
Oh, so I guess that's actually something I've been questioning.
Right.
Where for some people, like marijuana helps, and for others it hurts when it comes to seizures. Um, and I'm wondering if that's because like your seizures are more prone to your brain like being understimulated, and then there are other people who like need to calm our brains down because we get seizures when it's the overstimulation. So it's I don't know, it's weird. I was thinking about that today.
It is
That's
weird.
interesting.
It is. It's very weird.
I also wanted to respond to Jeff. I said this earlier. I'm in a cluster of a lot of seizures. It usually starts for us around 6 p.m. and it just keeps going until my medication kicks in. And I had a bunch earlier. Anyway, sometimes my face looks like I'm laughing, but it's just doing it. Yeah, it's a thing like you have an inappropriate looking response to things. Sometimes I say weird shit. Just if it's in my brain, it just comes out. But yeah, I'm not laughing at you or like, yeah, that's.
Yeah, you've been laughing at me all day.
I love the connections that people make with each other. Like it just is
Yeah,
delightful.
it is. It's just great.
I like making
And
friends, especially when they have epilepsy.
Oh,
and you never have to apologize.
You'll never hear someone say that. I love my friends that have epilepsy.
Yeah.
I
I
love
love
them
my
more than my
friends who
regular
ruined my
friends.
party.
Yeah.
We're all movers and
Epilepsy
shakers.
party.
well, it's because we're all ruining the party, so we all get it. You know.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Everyone's gonna
Jeff,
be taking notes.
I
Rick,
really
put on the
appreciate
music.
you saying that, Jeff, because I'm at the right after it happens, I get intense guilt and I can't stop it. I mean, especially with the medication gap, like, and it's very comforting to hear that because even though I just have to ride it out, it's very comforting to my nervous system. So I really appreciate that.
Seriously, I don't get offended. I didn't think you were laughing at me. And if you were, I wouldn't get offended anyway. You're entitled to an opinion. Everybody is. Not everybody agrees with me. And, so what?
Yeah,
It's
thank
nothing
you.
to feel guilty about.
It's also my seizures opinion is just something is randomly hilarious, so my face doesn't, and my brain doesn't know what's so funny, you know? I mean, somebody
Yeah.
could be saying like something, it happened, one of the first times I got on, Annie was telling her story, her personal story, and like my face, I could see my face like laughing. I said something weird in the chat, and I was like a second later, like, what the fuck did I just do? That's terrible, but my brain decided to do it.
Yeah. I think we all have probably gone through something like that. We're not all in control all the time.
Oh, Angel brought up your epidural. Do you think that that might be affecting your?
I checked with my neurologist and my pain doctor checked also with the medications I'm taking, and he said it wouldn't be a problem. And you know my attitude, if it is, fuck it. I'll deal with it.
I would still tell your neuro about this, I mean,
I'm sure
something
that
happened different today.
I'm sure that the like research on epidurals and epilepsy like combined, like there's probably no like research whatsoever to go through, you know. So when they say it wouldn't have caused it, can you really trust, like that, or is it just them being confident, you know?
No, it's just that, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
If I want my back to not hurt, I have to try that. It's one
Yeah.
or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon suggested the B12, and look where I'm at now.
You can
You've been taking
have
the
your wife walk on your back. It might not hurt.
Pookie, you've been taking the B12
Oh yeah,
and you feeling better?
I haven't had a focal in 6 weeks.
Dude, I am so pumped to hear that. Fuck yes.
Shout out to Nature's Made.
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah, I had to hop off when you were advertising your Nature Made the other day.
Yeah, yeah, they've been working.
I use Nature's Truth.
You should switch.
But I get these like for cheap at the grocery store at the end of my street, so it's easy.
Oh, okay, yeah, the convenience is the thing. Here it says, does this sound like a seizure? I'm 25 and I'm on Vimpat for epilepsy. My dad also had seizures when he was alive. It's not why he died though. I have epilepsy and it's usually triggered by stress. Recently, I've been extremely stressed, but keeping up on my meds. My meds do not completely stop the seizures, they make them less and prevent really big ones. So I lay down for a nap and I wake up very stressful. I wake up to a very stressful message. Immediately I start shaking, but I am fully aware I cannot stop shaking. My jaw is chattering, my chest is shaking, and I can't breathe. I tense up and can't move for a good 30 seconds, but I force myself due to. Hold on. I force myself up. I try to talk to my partner, and I can't that well due to my jaw chattering. I can barely walk. After 5 minutes, it eases up and I'm fine. I can breathe, no tense body. I can walk. Is this a seizure? This isn't anything like my usual ones. Nocturnal petit mal and at worst nocturnal grand mals. And despite having epilepsy for 18 years, I've had the privilege of it being diagnosed and uncontrolled fairly quickly. So I don't know a lot about my seizures. That I guess kind of sounds like a seizure.
I've had similar situations. I see a lot of people are saying panic attack. But I've had similar situations and it was I think the way that they're describing it seems a little different than what I've experienced, but for me it was very much so like my whole body just sort of clenched up and I couldn't really communicate for like a couple minutes. I could talk, but it wasn't like I could have a conversation. You know, it was like me being able to tell someone that I can't talk, and that was the extent. You know, like um and there was shaking, but it was more like the clenching that caused the shaking. It wasn't like my whole body was like shaking on its own like that. It, you know, but that's what's happened to me. It started to sound like something that's happened to me, but everyone started saying panic attack.
I wonder if it ended for this person, because the EMU was the first place I could have a panic attack, a real panic attack, because it just ended after a little bit. Whereas like a seizure, like I'm having a cluster, it doesn't end. Like it just keeps going. The panic attack, you like can actually use like tools like grounding stuff to make it stop, and you can sit down. Um, yeah, I don't know if it just.
Eh.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, and my panic attack did not show up on the EEG, so could just be that.
How do you know? Do you remember?
My panic attack?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, the EEG. Oh man. Yeah, humor right now.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.